Cost plays a key factor. Now, if you are a global organization, you'd like to have limited vendors where you can deal with them globally. It's just not that cost, but then there are other factors, right, in terms of dealing with vendors, in terms of getting the right quality, right on time, what's best happening, right? And that's the reason that you might have seen a lot of organization importing furnitures when they are creating new GCCs from international vendors rather than getting it in India locally, right? There's a cost, there's a huge cost import which happens, but then they do it because that's how what their global standard is, right? So that's fine. So it's always balancing between cost, but then what is the value add that you are getting if you are if there's an incremental cost attached to it. So that plays a very key role from a procurement and from a finance perspective, looking at from a financial leadership perspective. The second is for me would be your vendor's ability to scale up. Now, if they say this is what my limitation is, I can't do it, then it's a big question mark, right? If you're a global organization, unless you are a middle size or a small size GCCs, if you're supporting a large organization, you need vendors which can easily scale up to the needs. If today we have 100 license, tomorrow I want 1,000 license, it doesn't take like a month to get that. It's just a day or two, right? Which is required. One. The second is flexibility. Now, flexibility plays a key role when we are selecting anything, right? If I talk about IT tools, changes are never ending, and the flexibility of our partner or a vendor in terms of adopting those changes, whether internal, external, plays a very key role. Now, there have been scenarios where I had both experiences, somewhat very good, somewhat not that good, because their system was not flexible at all. And then later on, we had to actually move from that vendor. And I'm talking about payroll. So payrolls are very local right now. We need specialized local vendor provider. But since their system was not flexible, uh, because to make any changes used to take 2 weeks. It was not feasible. Remember, we have payroll every month. You can't wait for 2 months actually to get any changes implemented. So we decided to move on. So flexibility do play a very big role when we are looking for any such change. The third is how easy is are their systems, right? Now, to give you a classic example, if you go to any app, is it if it is too hard to navigate, you would do away with, you'd find an alternative, right? In today's world, everybody use smartphone, iPhone, right? People who use iPhone, they want to stick to iPhone. It's about their user experience and the change, right? How easy it is to use or navigate through. So that plays a very key role, and their ability to support in any change. Management in the organization. Remember, any tool, any new things we bring into the organization, change management is the biggest and the key. Because if the adoption is not there, then there's no point of bringing anything right into the organization. So that plays a very key role for me. Next one is how easily it can be integrated to any subsystems or existing systems. If it is too complex, if it is, as I said, about inflexible to adopt those internal subsystems, it's a big no. It's a big no, right? So that's also there. And as we touched about a lot about compliances, obviously, data integrity is the most vital thing today in any world as we move to more and more of cloud or SaaS. So data integrity and compliances, how good are they with, right? Uh, and uh, and how fast are they with, rather than just being a vendor, but becoming a partner of of providing that guidance. These are the changes which is coming in, and that's the reason you go for Big Four as a consultant, because their awareness around the global changes so huge and so fast that it helps you actually to start preparing for something which is coming up, right? So that's plays with data security and changes, the risk management that, and we talked about the risk earlier as well, that how good they can support with mitigating those risks through systems rather than putting manual processes around it. So So from a finance perspective, these are five or six different key factors that plays a role for me. And obviously ROI, if I mix everything together, how does the ROI look like? Sometimes you have to go with a negative ROI, say a big negative ROI, but then the benefit of saving cost on other areas actually gives you a long-term game over there rather than just looking at a short-term one.